We all experience sexual thoughts and urges. We don't act on them all. I think you can simply define the compulsive use of porn or the compulsive use of sex as people having difficulty not acting or avoiding acting on their sexual thoughts and urges. A lot of times my clients tell me that they have struggled at the most inopportune time. It's a problem if you're at work and you're struggling with sexual thoughts. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to be present in the moment. It's hard to be productive. A lot of times people use sex or pornography because they're struggling with coping with painful emotions. People might find that they use sex or porn to avoid difficult emotions, or they might use pornography or sex to change how they're feeling in the moment, to temporarily give them some relief from what they're struggling with. People might have difficulty in their interpersonal relationships. They might struggle with intimacy with a partner. They might find themselves taking away time from other things that are important to them to engage in sex or view porn. And then other things that are of value to them suffer. If you're in an intimate relationship and your sexual interest and arousal is directed elsewhere, it's going to impact your ability to connect intimately with your partner. If people are engaging in compulsive sexual behavior, oftentimes they withdraw emotionally from their relationship. They're afraid of being found out, or they're afraid of disappointing their partner. People experience shame, they experience guilt, they're afraid that their behavior is going to cause their partner to suffer. It's hard to ask for help. Men have been socialized to not show their vulnerability, to put yourself in a position where you're vulnerable to losing a relationship that's important to you. It's pretty terrifying. The first question is, what do you want your life to be like? Most people are ready to ask for help when the idea of staying in the same place is more painful than the idea of reaching out. Therapy is a safe place. A conversation or a therapy session with me is non-judgmental. I meet my clients with acceptance, with care, and with compassion for their suffering, regardless of what choices that they might have made that brought them to therapy. I'm asking you to share the most intimate details of your life. It's reasonable and it's appropriate to be hesitant. It's okay to be anxious. It's reasonable to feel afraid. We experience shame when we're afraid of how others may see us as a result of the choices that we make. We experience guilt when we act in a way that's inconsistent with our personal values. I think therapy can help in two ways. It can help you to develop the skills to better regulate your sexual thoughts and urges, and it can help you to address and cope with some of the very painful emotions that either made you vulnerable to acting this way or that you experienced as a result of this shame and guilt. I think it's important to keep in mind that there is good science behind the work that I do. We have evidence-based treatment approaches that have been validated time and time again. There's lots of skills, coping mechanisms, strategies that you can use to better regulate or cope with a sexual thought rather than feel like your thoughts or urges are in control of your behavior. I want people to know that their future can be what they want it to be, that change is possible, and that there's good reason to be hopeful. Suffering alone is painful. You don't need to suffer alone. Sharing your struggle with someone else is the first step to creating the life you want for yourself. The hardest thing about therapy is walking through the door. It's your job to find the strength to come. I take it from there.